In the news today, pork knocker crushed to death by falling rocks in Conawaruk. According to a police statement, John and a colleague were working along with two other punters when, while working at the edge of a cliff, several big rocks started to fall down on them. A Maikoni pork knocker who was working in the Conawaruk Back Dam at Whitewater Mountain was crushed to death on Thursday by falling rocks. The dead miner has been identified as 59-year-old Donston John aka Rambo. Woman stabbed to death over phone call from a male. 24-year-old Lunacia Peters of 97 Supanam Public Road and formerly of Golden Fleece, Essequibo Coast was killed last evening by her ex-boyfriend. News outlets understand that Peters and the suspect shared a relationship and were living together until they separated. Peters had moved and went to her aunt's house at Supanam, Essequibo Coast. Wednesday evening, the suspect visited the aunt's home and was invited into the house. Police said that, while sitting, Peters' phone rang and she answered. When the suspect heard a male's voice on the other end, he became annoyed, snatched Peters by her hair and dragged her into the kitchen where he grabbed a knife, took her to the bathroom and dealt her several stabs with the knife. Peters' aunt, having heard the commotion, raised an alarm, after which the suspect ran out the house and made good his escape on foot. Checks were made for suspect but he wasn't found. The police were summoned and responded, where they observed the motionless body of the victim. The body was examined for injuries where several stab wounds about the head and body were observed and a knife and a rolling pin with blood stains were observed at the scene. The body was later escorted to the Sudhi Public Hospital where it was seen and examined by a doctor on duty and pronounced dead. It was then escorted to the Sudhi Hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Investigations are ongoing. 2 Shen man wanted for robbery. The Guyana police force has issued a wanted bulletin for 30-year-old Elaz Ali Khan for questioning in relation to robbery committed on Rajmati Pandey on August 8, 2020, at La Jalasi, West Coast Demerara. Anyone with information that may lead to the arrest of Elaz Ali Khan is asked to contact the nearest police station. Opposition leader calls for Roshan Khan's immediate removal from ERC. Khan received widespread backlash for his comments, which were made while tense and highly disturbing race-baiting protests were ongoing in Region No. 5 following the brutal murder of teen cousins Joel and Isaiah Henry. Speaking during a virtual press briefing, the opposition leader contended that Khan is no longer fit to sit on the ERC and must be removed forthwith. 4 suspects who were arrested in connection with the murders of 18-year-old Joel Henry and 16-year-old Isaiah Henry were released on bail Thursday after the stipulated 72 hours to keep them in custody expired. Assistant Commissioner of Police and Public Relations Officer Royston Andres Jr. told reporters that the 4 suspects are required to report to the police on Friday as the probe continue. 4 arrested for beating to death of Bath settlement man during protest. 4 persons have been arrested in connection with the beating to death of Predipal Hargoban, who was beaten to death on the Bath Settlement Public Road by protesters. This is according to Crime Chief Wendell Blanham. It was further disclosed that the firearm reportedly used by Hargoban has since been located and lodged. Police are checking to see whether he was a licensed firearm holder. Hargoban senselessly lost his life after he ended up in a confrontation with several protesters on the Bath Settlement Public Road. He reportedly fired shots at the crowd, and they reacted by beating him. Police who were nearby said they noticed the commotion and went over to his assistance. By then he was already unconscious and battered on the public road. U.S. citizen robbed of cash valuables during protest action. The incident occurred at Hopetown on Tuesday when protesters burnt 2 paddy trucks on the public road, forcing commuters to use a backstreet in the community. The victim further noted, the men started to hit on the car window and dropped their motorcycle behind the car to stop them from reversing. They came with weapons and they came aggressively. We escape with just our lives.